What we're looking for here is two things. We want the 10th term and then the sum of the first 10 terms for this arithmetic sequence right here. Now, I think this is arithmetic because if we look right here, what is this difference right here? We'll take 2 minus 3 halves. Well, that's really what? That's 4 halves minus 3 halves, so I get 1 half. Then if I did the same thing here, what would that be? 3 halves minus 1, which is 3 halves minus 2 halves, which is 1 half. So it looks to me here like the common difference is 1 half. And we're told that it's an arithmetic sequence at the beginning of the problem. So I've got, I found D twice, so I'm pretty confident that's what D is. Now I'm trying to find two things. First of all, the 10th term, all right? So I have a formula for the term number. That would be this. A sub n is, here's how it goes. It's A1, the first term, plus the quantity n minus 1 times D. So in this case, what do we have? N is equal to 10. The first term here is 1 half, and D, we just found that to be 1 half. Substitute these numbers in, here's where we are. A sub 10 is equal to A1, 1 half, plus N, now we're finding the 10th term, minus 1 times 1 half. Simplify. 1 half plus 9 times 1 half, about 1 half plus 9 halves. Well, isn't that nice? That's 10 halves, which is 5. All right, so here's the first term, or the 10th term. The 10th term of this sequence is 5. Now let's find the sum. So I have the sum of the first n terms. Now I've got two formulas for this. I'll write one of them here, and I think we can use this one. N over 2, A1 plus, here's 1. What do you need for this one? Well, you need n, which is 10. I've got that here. A1, I have the first term, right? The first term's given to us, 1 half. And do I have the 10th term? Yeah, the 10th term we just found to be 5. So I'll just use those values. Make our substitutions, so we'll get S sub 10, the sum of the first 10 is 10 over 2, times the first term, which is 1 half, plus the, all right, what is this? This is the nth term. We're looking at the 10th term, right, because n is 10. And the 10th term, we just found to be 5, so this will be 5. So let's see, we'll get what? 10 divided by 2 is 5, and then we'll get a 1 half plus 10 halves. I'll get a common denominator here. So this is 5 times 11 halves. What do we get here? Well, nothing cancels, so I think we're going to get 55 over 2. So the sum of the first 10 terms is 55 over 2. So the problem asks us for two things. Let's just summarize. So the 10th term we found to be 5, and the sum of those first 10 terms we found to be 55 over 2.